The shocking news shaking global financial circles today is something many investors have been waiting for years. The Iraqi Dinar Explosion is finally happening, and contract rates have started going public in what appears to be the official beginning of the revaluation phase for 2025. Stay with me till the very end, because what I'm about to share is not just speculation. It's a deep insight based on official reports, economic patterns, and data emerging from Iraq's central bank and global currency markets. Before we begin, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update on this once-in-a-lifetime financial transformation. Now, here's the truth behind the headlines. The Iraqi dinar, once one of the weakest currencies in the world, is now standing at the edge of a potential comeback that could reshape the Middle East's economy and shake the global forex market. For over a decade, experts and investors have speculated about a possible RV, or revaluation, but 2025 has introduced undeniable signs that something major is indeed taking place. The Central Bank of Iraq has reportedly moved to release new internal data showing a tightening of money supply, a surge in dollar reserves, and an official preparation for currency value adjustments that align with the IMF's fiscal guidelines. At the same time, Iraq's oil export revenues have reached record highs, and international contracts are being renegotiated in favor of dinar-based settlements, a move that directly challenges the long-standing dominance of the U.S. dollar in regional oil trade. Sources within Baghdad's financial sector are suggesting that the new contract rates going public are not merely symbolic but represent the early indicators of Iraq's broader integration into global economic systems. Investors across the world are now rushing to analyze what this means. Will the dinar truly rise in value, and if so, how far can it go? The numbers circulating online vary wildly, from cautious predictions of a 1.1 exchange parity to more ambitious estimates pointing toward multi-dollar rates per dinar. What's important, however, is that the conditions now look different than ever before. This is not the rumor-driven speculation we saw in the early 2010s. The indicators this time are rooted in tangible reform, improved transparency, and international monetary cooperation. Iraq's government has been strengthening anti-corruption frameworks, implementing electronic payment systems, and enforcing stricter banking compliance under international supervision, all of which build a foundation for a realistic currency revaluation. Whether you're a forex trader, an investor holding physical dinar, or simply curious about how global economics work, this is the moment to pay attention. Because if Iraq successfully repositions its currency, it could become a case study in how economic recovery, political stability, and financial discipline can completely rebuild national wealth from the ground up. Stay tuned, because what's coming next might surprise you even more. As we move deeper into this development, the revaluation phase now being whispered about across financial platforms is more than a buzzword. It's the unfolding of years of planning, debt management, and economic restructuring. Iraq's central bank has recently announced new mechanisms for currency auctions, limiting the artificial demand for U.S. dollars and stabilizing domestic liquidity. This step, seemingly technical, is in fact a cornerstone for any successful revaluation because it reduces inflationary pressure and establishes confidence in the dinar's purchasing power. The announcement that contract rates are becoming public suggests that Iraq is signaling transparency to foreign investors and international partners. Behind closed doors, several Middle Eastern banks are reportedly testing exchange systems to prepare for multi-rate transactions, an early sign that a dual-currency operational phase might be in motion. At the same time, international audit firms and economic consultants have been engaged to monitor Iraq's fiscal reforms, adding credibility to the claim that this revaluation is not just theoretical, but practically underway. The IMF, World Bank, and regional economic bodies have all emphasized Iraq's improving fiscal discipline, with oil export profits now being diverted into reserve funds designed to support currency stability. The country's foreign reserves have climbed beyond expectations, and the exchange market is showing consistent upward movement, signaling confidence from both local and foreign investors. However, this transformation is not without challenges. Political factions within Iraq continue to debate how the new rates will affect import prices, salary structures, and inflation. Yet, analysts agree that controlled revaluation is far more beneficial than a stagnant currency tied perpetually to external pressures. For global forex traders, these shifts are sparking new interest. Many are positioning themselves for potential windfalls, studying market signals and monitoring Iraqi government statements for clues. The sentiment across the investor community is cautiously optimistic. Many believe that Iraq's leadership understands the gravity of this opportunity and will proceed strategically to avoid economic shocks. If done right, the dinar could transition from a regional currency into a globally recognized medium of exchange backed by real economic growth. The ripple effect of such a move could reach international markets, influencing oil contracts, trade agreements, and even digital currency developments tied to commodity-based assets. It's important to remember that revaluation doesn't just change numbers, it alters wealth distribution, reshapes investment flows, and redefines geopolitical influence. That's why every update matters, and that's exactly why this 2025 news is being described as the most significant development in Iraq's modern economic history. For everyday viewers and investors watching this, the best move is to stay informed, study the official releases, and avoid falling for unverified hype or unrealistic rate claims. Knowledge is your greatest investment. And in times like these, being informed can mean the difference between opportunity and regret. If you're watching right now, hit that like button, because we're only halfway through uncovering the truth behind this dinar revolution. Now, let's talk about what happens next. Because this isn't just an Iraqi story, it's a global event in the making. The revaluation phase marks a transition not just for Iraq, but for global financial systems that have long relied on the dollar as the anchor of international trade. If the dinar successfully appreciates and stabilizes, it could encourage other developing nations to follow a similar path, strengthening their own currencies through resource-backed economic models. Iraq's position as one of the world's leading oil producers gives it an undeniable advantage in backing its currency with tangible wealth. Recent reports indicate that several trade partners, including China, India, and members of the EU, have begun considering bilateral agreements to settle certain oil imports in dinar, a development that could accelerate the currency's global recognition. Imagine the implications. For decades, the petrodollar system has governed global oil trade. But if Iraq manages to diversify this structure, it could trigger a gradual shift toward a multi-currency energy market. That's not science fiction, that's financial evolution in real time. For investors, this means understanding not just the exchange rate, but the broader macroeconomic environment shaping it. The dinar's revaluation could lead to stronger capital inflows, infrastructure development, and foreign partnerships in technology, construction, and energy. Domestic industries within Iraq are already preparing for this shift. Businesses are modernizing their operations, and banks are digitizing their systems to handle larger international transactions. But this story is bigger than numbers. It's about national pride and recovery. After years of conflict, instability, and reconstruction, Iraq is standing at the edge of economic sovereignty, reclaiming control over its monetary destiny. The dinar's rise symbolizes a broader journey toward independence, credibility, and participation in the world economy on equal footing. Of course, the global response will be mixed. Some institutions will celebrate, others will question the sustainability. But one thing is certain. Change is already in motion. For those holding dinar or following this story, the key is patience, awareness, and adaptability. Don't rush into conclusions. Instead, observe the data, watch the official updates, and let the market confirm what's real. In 2025, information is power, and timing is everything. And if you've made it this far, it means you're serious about understanding the truth behind the Iraqi dinar's explosion, not just chasing rumors. So here's your call to action. Subscribe right now, because every week we'll break down new insights, decode official updates, and deliver the most accurate, real-time coverage of the Iraqi dinar's revaluation and its impact on the global economy. Don't miss the next video. It could be the one that changes how you see the future of money forever.